name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. We're here today to do a book haul, as the title would imply. I've got a lot of books here, I think 16 books that I'm really excited to share. My last book haul that I did was mainly books that I had selected for really no rhyme or reason, which made for a very chaotic video of me being like, here's a book, I have it now. These are 16 books that, for the most part, the vast majority of them, I explicitly sought out, have heard good things about, or really wanted to read, or had been on my list for a while. And actually a lot of these I suspect will probably be 5-star reads for me, which is really exciting. This also I think will probably be my last haul for a little while. I've finally figured out how to get books from my local library on my e-reader, which took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out. I've also got a huge physical stack of TBR books that I have to get to, so I'm gonna try to kind of lay low on the book buying for a little while. If you watch future videos and you're like, where did you get this new book from? Actually, no, I don't want people to ask me those questions. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. I'm excited about so many of these. I will start off with Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I am so excited to read this. Everybody on BookTube talks about this. It's a graphic novel about two boys who are friends and then they end up falling in love. This was a webcomic that was turned into physical graphic novels, so I'm pretty sure there are 3, maybe soon 4 volumes of this out now. I've only got the first one because I wanted to make sure that I liked it before I got all of them, but I am pretty confident that I'm going to like it because I have only heard good things. The drawings look super cute. Everything about this just screams adorable to me, and I am so excited to read it. The next book that I have is Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. This is a book that I actually don't know a ton about. This is another one that I know several people who have read this and loved it. It's coming highly recommended. I do know that it follows 4 generations of a Korean family set in the early 1900s. Yeah. Oh my god, where do I go next? Next up, I will share A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, the first book in a series that I've also heard very good things about. It is a YA retelling of Sherlock Holmes through Charlotte Holmes, who, the famous detective's great-great-great-granddaughter who has inherited Sherlock's genius. I have never actually read the original Sherlock Holmes books. I have watched the TV show. The original one that I'm pretty sure this is a play off of is A Study in Scarlet? Yes, it is A Study in Scarlet. I didn't make that up. I don't know how closely it's actually going to stick to that original story. We'll see. I'm excited about it. I think that this will be a fun, cute, and because it's a mystery, a good one that I will probably read in October. Next, I've got Our Prison's Obsolete by Angela Y. Davis. This is a very short book. I think the title kind of gives this away a little bit. This is a book that is essentially making the case for prison abolition. Angela Davis is quite obviously sort of the scholar, the writer, the activist when it comes to the prison industrial complex, prison abolition in the United States, but also I think applicable elsewhere as well. I read Freedom is a Constant Struggle by Angela Davis last year, which was amazing. Her writing is very succinct, very to the point, very clear, and very accessible, which I love. This is obviously, I think, a very timely book to be reading. We are seeing a lot of discourse about policing and about police abolition. Police abolition and prison abolition are really intertwined. I'm closely involved with an organization that works with criminalized women. This is actually a book that I picked up as part of a book club for that organization, so I'm really excited to read this. I appreciate that it's a quick read. I think that I will probably get a lot out of it. This is The Humans by Matt Haig. I've heard generally good things about Matt Haig's writing. I've never read anything that he's written. What do I know about this? Pretty much nothing. A rollicking novel about math and murder, poetry and peanut butter, and casts a sharp eye on the triumphs and foibles of our weird and wonderful species. The fact that there's math in it I find somewhat troubling. This is maybe an exception to the I sought all of these books out. This is probably another, ooh, there's an interesting cover and has good reviews, but this is how I pick books. I don't know what to say. Next up we have The Vanishing Half by Bennett. What do I say about this book? Everybody's read this book, everybody loves this book, and this is a beautiful cover and well-reviewed book that I do know a couple things about. So this is a literary fiction, like a family drama that follows two biracial twins, one of whom chooses to present as a white woman and the other who chooses to present as a black woman, and follows, from my understanding, their lives as a result. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I feel like I've heard such good things that the bar has been set so high, but I'm so excited to get into this. Oh, next we have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I'm very excited about this. One of my very good friends from high school, Erin, sent me this completely by surprise. She was like, I'm gonna send you one of my favorite books and I would love for you to read it. So I was like, okay. I know just from her Goodreads that she reads a lot more fantasy than I do, which is basically nothing. Kind of the extent of my fantasy is Twilight, which is actually pretty embarrassing. And there's this nice card in it. I had not heard of this when Erin sent it to me, but I've since looked it up on Goodreads, and multiple people who I'm friends with on there have read this and rated it 5 stars. So I am very much looking forward to this. This is going to be wrong. This book follows a character that it has to do with like a book in a library, and I'm pretty sure that he like discovers new worlds through these books. That sounds so vague. Oh yeah, when he discovers a mysterious book in the stacks of his campus library, he begins to read and is entranced. Suddenly, a turn of the page brings Zachary to a story from his own childhood. So I don't know a ton about what's going to go on in here. I almost don't want to read too much into the synopsis because I don't want to give it away. I'm happy to go into it totally uninformed. One that I suspect if I want to get more into fantasy and dip my toes in the realm of that genre, this might be a really good place to start. So thanks, Erin. So this is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. You probably remember the movie from however many years ago. It was like an animated children's movie, but it was very creepy with the button eyes. So I ordered this. When it came in, I was pleasantly surprised to realize that it wasn't the novel version, but it was the graphic novel version. So not what I thought I was getting, but I'm still very excited about it. Oh my god. The illustrations are kind of terrifying. Yeah, I don't like that. Will be another kind of good one for spooky season. Next up we have There by Tommy Orange. This is another book that I've heard great things about. This is the book written by a Native American man that follows 12 characters from Native communities all traveling to the big Oakland powwow, all connected to one another in ways they may not yet realize. I love books that follow multiple POVs. I also love books that sort of all come together in the end, and where you realize that all of the stories are intertwined in ways that you maybe didn't necessarily know it. So I'm excited about both of these things. I do intentionally try to read Indigenous literature from Canada. I haven't read as much by Native American authors, so I'm looking forward to that and sort of seeing what a perspective from a Native American author is. I am excited to read this. Next we have Let's Go Swimming on Doomsday by Natalie C. Anderson. I picked up this book after watching one of Jessie from Bow Ties and Books. They highly recommended this, so I thought I would pick it up. This book, from my understanding, centering around a Somali boy whose brother is captured by Al-Shabaab and forced to become a child soldier, and then he joins Al-Shabaab to try to find his brother again. I will say from looking at it that I was under the impression that this book would be by a Black author. It doesn't appear to be. I will definitely take a look and see if there is any sort of analysis or discussion of that. Okay, next we have You Brought Me the Ocean by Alex Sanchez and Julie March. This is also a graphic novel. It centers around a character who I believe is part of the LGBTQ community, and his father drowned. He's mourning his father. A very quick skim of the back cover is leading me to also believe that there might be elements of magic in this book, which I actually didn't know anything about. but I'm looking forward to that as well. I will share these two together because they just seem fitting. So next up I have Pet Sematary and Misery, both by Stephen King. I have actually never read any of Stephen King's books. I've seen several of Stephen King's movies. The Shining is one of my favorite movies of all time, and The Mist has been scarring me since I watched it in elementary school. I don't know why this is, but I think I just never thought I would like his books, I guess. I don't know what I thought. Noel Gallagher has a video introducing yourself to reading Stephen King books, and these are two of the books that she suggests reading if you want to start getting into his books. I have been on the lookout for sort of some creepier reads. So Pet Sematary, I actually haven't seen the movie. Both of these have movie adaptations. I haven't seen either of them. Pet Sematary, which I think is probably one of the books he's known best for. There's a pet cemetery in a town where the townspeople bury their dead pets, and then that behind that pet cemetery there is something much creepier going on. I'm pretty sure there's going to be dead evil animals, which I find deeply disturbing but also intriguing. So yeah, I brought both of these books home and Rob was like, what? Misery is about a writer who writes books. Thanks, Chloe. I'm pretty sure he's like kidnapped or held hostage by a fan who was then forcing him to write a book. I know that this is like quite gruesome from my understanding. I was very lucky. Both of these, I got them for like $3 at a used bookstore. So I'm excited about those. Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. It is a romance that takes place largely over Twitter. That was all I really needed to be sold on it. Romance is another genre that I'm realizing I quite like. Second last is This Is What It Feels Like by Rebecca Barrow. Another one that I've heard really good things about from lots of different people. This book, from again my limited understanding, is about a group of Black women who used to be in a band together, and I think them rediscovering their friendship, not in the context of a band. I don't know much about this beyond that, but again, something that I've heard good things about. It kind of just seems like a good end of summer read. The final book that I have got to haul is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I've been seeing a lot about this book along with Circe, which is another book by the same author, in the past couple months. Neither of them interested me particularly because I was kind of under the impression that this is going to be a historical fiction grounded heavily in an era that I know absolutely nothing about, that it's going to go over my head, I'm not going to understand it. So I held off for quite a long time. But I've seen so many people say amazing things about this book. I don't know much about it other than that it makes people cry and that one of the main characters is bisexual. That's pretty much what I know. And I've also seen many people saying, I don't know anything about Greek history or Greek mythology, and I really liked it anyways. There we have it. Those are the 16 books that I had to show in this haul. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know what you thought. Hopefully you don't think bad things about them because I've purchased them and now will read them. But yeah, let me know. Are any of these on your TBR list? Have you read any of them yourself? What did you think? No spoilers because I have not read them yet. Thanks so much for tuning in and see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. And hope to see you again soon.